there. How's everyone? I'm still getting a little set up, so I'm a little early. I'm trying a different format today. I'm still getting a little set up, so I'm a little early. So you can kind of hear the echo. So let me turn off the volume on that. So hang on 1 second. Okay. All right. So I have this on because I learned the hard way last time that I had the camera reversed. So things you learn as you try new things. So it's always a work in progress. So now you can actually see the Alice t-shirt and my same background, my same format. So I just want to see how everyone is doing. It's 2 minutes till, so we're still a little early. And I'll wait for just a minute, okay? Hey, German, I see you. All right, so we're going to wait for a couple other people. Let me just check my screen, so I'm going to step away for just a second, and I'll be right back. Hey, Google, play Pandora.
Playing some music on Pandora.
Hey, Google, play Pandora.
Playing some music on Pandora.
There we go. Okay. All right, I'm back. Oh, I see a few people have joined us. Hi. Hi, Sonia. How are you? So I have a little bit of a lag because I'm watching myself on another device, which is weird, but just so I can make sure that I'm actually in frame and everything looks good. So, yeah. Alrighty. And you can you guys see the sign back here? Hopefully this time around. Let's see, I think I need a little bit more light. Hold on. Okay. Alright, I'm back. A few more people that have joined. Yeah, okay, so you can see it great. Yeah, so I had to reverse my camera, and then I'm actually logged in through my personal account, so I can actually see my own video, which is weird. So I'm seeing myself being streaming. All right, so how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our daily check-in. This is the ALAS Club. ALAS stands for Achieving Latino Academic Success. Okay, and I have a hashtag ALAS 2020. Okay. So you can, if you have questions or things you want to post, or you want to tag stuff that you're doing at home, use that, and then we can look through and check on you. Okay? So, let's see. Hi, Sakina. How are you? I like seeing who's joined us and see what's going on. Wonderful. All right. Well, I thought we'd just do more of a discussion. I had posted some questions for you guys. I really wanted to hear more of your thoughts and what you, how you're managing all of this. First of all, how's everyone doing? Is everybody doing okay? Are you finding things to do? Are you watching the news a lot or too much? That's what I want to know. Hi, thanks for joining us. I love the little wave, and then I still wave with my hand. So, yeah, wonderful. We're getting more people. I love it. Okay, so I'm live feed, but then I'm watching my feedback here on my other screen. Okay. So yeah, if you want to type as we go, questions, comments, and I'll check every so often. Hi there, good to see you. Oh, another one joined us, wonderful. So is everyone doing okay? Are you a little bit scared about the news lately? I just got an update on my phone that someone's already passed away in Collin County from the virus, and I know it's only, we're still in single digits with some of these cases, but they're starting to creep up, and it's starting to become a little more alarming. So I just want to make sure you guys are doing okay, that you're taking care of yourself. I know for some of you, being housebound is probably not the thing you had counted on this semester. I know for like some members of my family that can't stand to be at home, they have to be out, they have to go places. So trying to kind of change your behavior and trying to do new things can be challenging, okay? Let's see, what else? Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about was how are you practicing self-care? Okay, what are you doing to keep yourself focused? Some stores near your house have shut off. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of restaurants have closed, and I know some of you work as servers. I saw on the news, I think a lot of waiters and waitresses are now going to just be running food because a lot of places have just become pick up and take out only. I went to Jason's Deli, and through the app I ordered something and then just went through the drive-thru and picked it up. So, yeah. Hi Alexa, how are you? Good to see you. All right, so we were talking more about self-care. So I hope you are taking time for yourself. I know I did hear back from the school. They sent an email to faculty. They are going to take an extra spring break, and then that's going to give us as faculty time to transition to online. For some of us, that's going to be much simpler than others. For me, did my video pause? Hold on one second. Let me just check. Oh, no, we're still good. Okay. So my live feed is still going. It paused on my other account, so I'm just making sure. So, yeah, hi Alexa, good to see you. I'm so glad you're doing okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's like a 2-second, like 5-second delay. So I guess if I curse, I could hit a button and bleep it, but I don't have that feature, so there you go. Crafting and journaling things I pull from YouTube. I learned so much. So sometimes when I'm hiding in my office, it's because I'm looking at videos and when I should be grading. So there you are. Also, if you're looking for something to start something new, you need something to inspire you. And of course, I got myself a set of pens, which of course I enjoy, so I'm very excited. I haven't broken them out yet. I did not get to journal yet this morning, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Okay. Other things that I do, all kinds of crafts. I showed the wreath that I made last time. If you're curious about it, I gave it to the family member that I made it for his birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. And if you go on my personal Instagram page, you can see it's on there. And if you're on Facebook, I know Facebook is for old people now. I had no idea. I have it on there because a lot of us, older faculty, family, we still use Facebook. So I have a lot of my artwork is on that Facebook page. So if you send me a friend request, I would be happy to share that so you can see. And I'll try and post more of my artwork on there. So let's see. I've been doing a workout at home from TV since the gyms are closed. Well, good for you. I'm so glad you're doing that. I'm glad you said that because I actually got to do my yoga class this morning. So a lot of yoga studios have closed and they are doing live feeds. And so I go to Sunstone Yoga. And if you're, hi Daniela, good to see you. If you are interested in doing yoga, you want to try a yoga class, I'm happy to share that link. They are on Vimeo, I believe. So, but if you're on my Facebook, I've shared the link on there if you're curious. So it actually, for me, was easier to do something I was familiar with. It was part of my morning routine, my weekly routine. So to do the yoga and know all the positions and know all the moves really kind of centered me. So I feel really focused. I feel really energized. But there's a lot of classes out there that are doing free yoga or free workouts. So if you're curious, just go on YouTube, and I'm happy to share links. Again, I can make a playlist on our Alice YouTube channel, so you can try some of those. I also did 2 Zumba dances. There is a friend of mine sent me, there's a Zumba live class on YouTube, and there's so many songs. And I realized one of the reasons why I don't stick with Zumba is because it's sometimes 30, 40, 50 minutes of dancing straight, and I just don't have the cardio anymore. I have to build up to it. So when I did the first Zumba, I did 1 song, which was 3 minutes, and whew, that wiped me out. Today, I challenged myself, and I did 2 dances. And I feel really good, but I'm also really tired. So, so Jeremy's doing exercises, distracted, helping your mom prep dinner. That's good. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. I'm glad he joined. All right, well, it's always good that you're helping out with your mom and stuff. I have learned that if I cleaned, it kept mom happy. So whatever kept mom happy, I was willing to do it. So that's always good. What else? So I did my yoga. yeah, if you can work out at home, that's definitely good. I even got up and took my dog for a walk. We did walkies. I have to be careful saying that because she'll run in. She's passed out on our bedroom during the day. She sleeps on the bed. It's her bed during the day. And then when I leave this room, she'll come and check on me, and then we'll go downstairs. So I love it. Face mask and crest white. I need to do the white strips. That's a great reminder. And start working out from home. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, I do love a good face mask. I just find that just very refreshing to do. So those are great suggestions. I love that. I'm going to have to go back to doing my own mani-pedis because obviously I can't go get my nails done. So I haven't done that since I was a teenager. So hey, there we go. That'll be some good self-care as well. Other things too, I know a lot of you are not really big into crafts or into art, but you can also always pick up coloring books. There's adult coloring books. A lot of people of my generation have started embracing these. I found this one, a friend of mine sent it to me. It's actually modern art that you can do, and I've done a couple of these. So there's Picasso in here, Paul Klee, Gustav Klimt, remember the girl, The Kiss. So yeah. Sometimes just coloring, even for a little bit while you're watching TV or just hang time, those are always good. In my classes, I talk about doing mandala. You want to learn to sew? I have a machine. Oh, that's great to hear. Yes, definitely do the sewing. In fact, I'm glad you said that. I'm planning to do some sewing, hopefully today. I have a machine as well in the box. And yes, there are a ton of videos on YouTube. So if you want me to include some links of videos I'm looking at for sewing projects, and then we can kind of, share what we make, that would be great. I've seen a few videos on how to make face masks. They're actually really easy. It's easier to make a face mask than it is to make pot holders. So I'm thinking maybe side business, right? It's a way to make some money in this crisis. I know. Well, that's my family thinking, like ways to make money. But so I might try that. Oh, good. Also sewing. All right, so we got to check out all of our fashion once we've done some sewing. Okay. I also tell my students about mandalas, and I encourage them to do them in class. Mandalas is actually very, linked to kind of Eastern philosophy, Eastern religion. If you've been to India, sometimes like for weddings, they'll do beautiful kind of mandala patterns in powdered chalk, to bring energy and to it's blessings for the couple, and it's just beautiful, and you see it everywhere. And there's a lot of videos, like I said, on YouTube as well on how to start doing mandalas. And then I like this one because it actually kind of walks you through. This one, actually blocks out the circles for you, and then you can do one half and match it. So, there's a lot of places to start in terms of doing that. And then, of course, I have just a mandala coloring book. I think I have, I started one there, and that's actually, it's a little hard to see. That's actually a colored pencil. I actually had to watch a video on how to color, because I didn't know that you could actually get it so fine and smoothing, and then there's these little pens you can buy that blend the color, so it almost looks like watercolor, but that's actually colored pencil, like your matte pencils that you get from school. So, yeah, you can tell I have found many ways to deal with self-care. And sometimes, you got to try something new constantly. So I think I did that one last year. And those kind of help me stay focused. So, yeah. So those are some ideas for self-care there as well. Hopefully you're going out and getting some exercise and getting some fresh air. Is anyone watching any good shows? Because I do. If you let me, I will just binge watch 12 hours a day. But I try to limit it right now. I'm trying to finish up an older series called Cold Case. It's actually on the Roku channel that offers free kind of shows and movies. It came out around the 2000 area, early 2000s, like 2002. And I love it because they solve old crimes that have gone cold. But I guess what I really love is that they show you kind of like they jump the ages of the people, that died, or the witnesses when they were 16, and then they show them when they're in their 40s, if it's the present day. Arrested Development, I have not seen Arrested Development, and I've heard good things about that. I definitely need to see that. Gabriel Fernandez trial. Oh, I've heard about that one too. I heard that one's good as well. Is anyone watching, is it called Hentified or Gentrified or Hentified? The Latino show on Netflix. We've been watching it. We're starting to get more into it. I think in the beginning it kind of needed to pick up a little bit. But overall, yeah, I like that there's more representation of the different types of Latinos. And yes, there's even a representation of me, a fourth generation, what do they call him, a coconut? I've been called a coconut many a time. And I love his comeback. He was like, well, coconuts are delicious, which is true. So, whatever. People are going to say what they're going to say. Oh, and you're watching that one too. Sonia's watching that one. Yeah, I kind of like it. Although, there's always just like one Afro-Latino or Latina. I'm like, there needs to be more. I don't think they get enough representation personally. But, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. And I hope they save the restaurant. So, yeah, I'll keep watching. Okay. Oh, where Anna painted the mural. Okay, we're up to that part as well. So, self-love. You kind of knew going in that it was going to be a shocking mural. I had a feeling. So, I kind of was surprised and I kind of wasn't surprised. So, hi there. I see a few more people have joined us. Thanks for joining. All right, so we're watching shows. We're working out. Maybe trying something different in a routine, maybe going out and getting a walk. Some of you are trying new things. Black Mirror, I'm kind of scared to watch Black Mirror, honestly. I'm not sure, but I've heard good things about it. And I think I saw a meme where someone says that this moment, like today, is like the worst Black Mirror episode ever. So I'm assuming it's something about altered universes and altered realities. So now I'm even more scared to watch it. So you'll have to let me know. Maybe I'll be brave enough and try it. Okay, what else? So I think we've kind of answered question 1. So let's see. So have you tried a new daily or a block schedule? That was my second question. Okay. Have you thought about how you're regimenting your day? Are you just kind of sleeping at all hours? Have you flipped your schedule? I know that happens very easily. I know my teenager now is going to bed around 3, 4 in the morning and then getting up. But you guys are younger. You can adjust back when you need to. For me, I'll be honest, it took me 2 years to get to a morning schedule. And I'm like, I fought so hard to consistently get up in the morning that I'm not going to reverse it. So, and what's funny is my mom, she's in her 80s, she doesn't sleep well at night anymore, and she only sleeps at like a few hours at a time, so they are up super late at night. So now if I want to call her or talk to her, I have to wait until after 12, or I wait until about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I'm like, okay, are you awake? Are you up yet? So yeah, they are night out, and my dad was a night out back in the day. Morning breakfast is the only thing that's changed. I'm wondering, like, when you're eating breakfast, or is it the type of food you're eating breakfast? I'm certainly having more of a bigger breakfast. I went from just a yogurt and coffee to now I have English muffin, because I did go to the store early, as I said last time, and they had English muffins, cereal, oatmeal, things like that. Hi! Good to see you. Still wake up early, but it's all up in the air from then on. Yeah, I agree. So let me show you something that I've tried. I used to schedule out every hour of my day, and it was just crazy. And it was, that's how I got through graduate school, but I can't do that in my everyday. So let me just show you my phone. I don't know if you can see all of these little alarms here that I have highlighted. So I set alarms on my phone, and when the alarm, just like in school and high school, like when the bell rings, that's how I know to transition to the next thing. Oh, thank you. This is actually, we sold these during our Valentine's Day fundraiser. It's Lotteria. If you want one, let me know. Private message me. I can get you one at the next time we meet up, if we have a meeting. I feel like doing something festive. And also, this is for Sonia. I'm wearing my Frida bracelet. I don't know, Sonia, if you've seen it before. My friend, Dr. Sherry Dean, she teaches speech. And she gave this to me. And I actually went to a restaurant once and was picking up food, and the guy was like, who is that? I see that everywhere in Mexico when I go. And I was like, how do you not know Frida Kahlo? And so I told him about her and explained it. He was all interested, so I'm hoping he went home and Googled it. But I want to figure out how to make more of these. So I love that it's just little images of her artwork. So Sonia, I always think of you now when I say I'm going to have to try and duplicate it and make you one. So I used to do jewelry back in the day. I might bring that back up and start doing it again. No, you haven't seen it. Okay, I'll have to wear it to school. I used to wear it to school a lot. But yeah, it's really cute. I don't know where she found it. It's kind of art shop in New Mexico, I think. So yeah. So so let's go back to self-care. I keep looking at the comments and then it's like I'm schizophrenic here. Okay. So I have alarms, and what I do is rather than block out every hour, I block out 2 and 3 hours a day. Okay. So I made a little checklist. Okay. Back to my whiteboard, but now you can actually see it. It's not backwards. Things you learn, right? Each day. Hi there. Welcome. Good to see you. So what I do is I have what I call my morning rituals, okay? And you've got to figure out what time, or I give myself a range of times to wake up. So I used to join the 5 a.m. club, okay? Maybe you don't want to do that now because you're homebound. But if you get bored, go on YouTube and Google 5 a.m. club. There's the 6 a.m. club, and there's even the 4 a.m. club. I used to get up at 4, and then, as a graduate student. And then I started getting up at 5 because I wanted to go to my yoga class, which was at 6. Now I'm letting myself sleep in until 7 a.m. Okay. So like I said, it took me 2 years to change my routine to be a morning person. So for me, 7 a.m. is late. Okay. So for you, it might be 8 o'clock, or maybe it's 9 o'clock. All right. So whenever you get up, I just kind of set on that Apple alarm. There's even other alarms that wake you up gently, like with sounds of music, rather than just a blaring, jarring alarm. So you might look at some of those in the App Store. I can certainly recommend one that I tried that was not bad. But even Apple, when I did the upgrade, they actually have some better sounds now. And so I gradually wake up, and then I kind of give myself some time. I might check my social media, I might finish reading the book I started last night, things of that nature, okay? And so I don't call it morning routine. I don't like the word, routine, because routine implies everyday, dull, boring, what have you. What I do is, what are your rituals? What do you do to have to wake up and get your day started and kind of feel like you're comfortable in your skin, okay? For example, it might be getting a cup of coffee. For me, it's I got to get up, and of course the dog wants to go outside, so I have to let her out. I might put a pot of coffee on because everyone in the house wants fresh coffee. I do a little powdered Activate drink, which gives me, vitamins, minerals, what have you. And then depending on, that time from 7 until my morning block, which is at 9 a.m., okay? So from 7 until 9, I can do whatever I want in that time period. So whatever I want to do for my morning ritual. So sometimes for me, it's making the coffee, it's cleaning the kitchen, it's throwing a load of laundry in. It's doing kind of the little day-to-day tasks that we don't think about, but just kind of add up. Okay, maybe it's picking up stuff from the room, or it's, checking your email, things that just kind of get you started in your day. And then my 9 a.m. alarm goes off, okay, and I've made some changes to it until now, but I work until about 10:30, okay. So I get a little bit of work done. I either check emails, or I'm posting assignments, or do things like that. And then about 10:30 to 12:30, just however you want to do that, I do a transition time. And I think here is where I'm going to do more of my artwork, crafting, things of that nature. And I think that's when I'll probably work on a sewing project, something of that. So you have to physically shift to another activity. So what I do is I work, or I grade, or I do something, and then when the alarm goes off, I'm like, okay, whatever I didn't finish, I'm going to get to either in the afternoon work block, or I will pick it up same point tomorrow. Okay, so I know for some of you, you have different classes that you're going to be studying for. Maybe you need to block out, like from 9 until 10:30, you're going to work on your history class. And then you'll take a break, and then after lunch from 1 until 3, you're going to work on your math assignment or something of that nature. Okay, so you have to figure out what's going to work for you. All right, and then of course I have my afternoon block. And again, I make a list of things that I'm allowed to do in that afternoon block, whether it's running errands, whether it's continuing doing work, maybe that's when I check email again. When I teach my online classes, this is when I do my virtual office hours, okay? So I usually do office hours from about 2 to 4, but now with the online check-in, I might change that to like 3 to 5, something of that. So that way, if people need to reach me immediately, want an immediate response, that's the time that they can check, okay? And then, of course, I have my evening block, and that is the last alarm of the day, and that's actually at 6 p.m., okay? And once that alarm goes off, that means I'm done with all my work for the day, and I'm going to transition into maybe making dinner or going out to dinner, spending time with my family. So last night we watched Terminator, Dark Fate. So I'd gotten a movie. And as much as I wanted to go back and check emails and do this or that, I had to completely shut down and disconnect and just kind of engage and do something else. So, I mean, it seems a little crazy at first, but by kind of blocking out your day like that and using an alarm system to remind you and just doing it consistently over time, you would be amazed at how much you get done and you feel pretty productive. So it's kind of weird. Since I've been home, I've not had a sense of boredom. I have not been triggered to be into a depression. I think doing these videos has helped me a lot with that because I look forward to, I'm going to see you guys. I'm going to share ideas with you. And so that's where we're at. Okay? So I just wanted to share that. And I learned all this from videos on YouTube. So I'm happy to make a playlist and add it to the Alice YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. And if you want to check some of that out. So yeah, just be willing to try something a little bit new. And if you have to, give yourself a reward. So if I know if I get through my things at the end of the day, that in the evening time, then I'm going to have some ice cream, or I'm going to have popcorn, or I'm going to do something fun for myself. Okay, since I can't go really out, it's got to be something in the house. Okay? All right, and I think our last topic that I wanted to cover, and of course I already put the sign away, is, here we go, sorry. So, this is for the Latino members. We were talking about identity, okay? So, I'm curious as to how you identify. And again, if you want to post a response or an image and do hashtag Alice2020, if you find a funny meme, go ahead and do that and to share with others. But my question is, how would you describe yourself? And I guess I'll go first in that regard. By the way, I got a new mug. Because it looks so pretty. So would you say to someone, like I tell people I'm 4th generation Hispanic or 4th generation Latino. I haven't really embraced the Latinx yet. I feel like it's so new, and I'm so used to saying Latino rather than Latin or Latinx or Latinx. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. So that's my question for you guys: is how are you self-identifying when someone approaches you, and sometimes they're not very subtle about it. They'll say things like, well, what are you? And I mean, well, I'm a girl. No, but what are you? A female? No, what are you? Sometimes they're a little bit more respectful. They'll say, oh, so where's your family from? Or where were you born? And I'll say, San Antonio. Oh, okay, well, where's your family? Where were they born? Where are they from? San Antonio. And I know what they're trying to ask me. I just make them dig a little bit more for it, ask more. I said, are you curious about my family background? And they're like, yes. And so if they want the information, I'll share it. But usually I just say, oh, I'm of Hispanic descent, or I'm Mexican American. For a lot of years growing up, I used to say I was Hispanic. That was kind of the go-to word. Because unfortunately, I grew up in Dallas in the 80s in an all-white neighborhood. So to say you were Mexican was very, it was a negative association, unfortunately. So I got used to saying, oh, I'm just Hispanic. Now I'm proud to say, yes, I'm Mexican. I'm of Mexican descent. I'm Mexican American. I have learned to really embrace what we call our Latinalidad. I can't even say it right. But my ethnicity and my background and who I'm from. So yeah, when they say, who are you or what are you, I find that kind of offensive. What are you? I'm a person. But if you want to know what my family's background is, and then, I don't know if you guys get this, oh, well, you don't look Mexican. Or, I thought you were Italian. I thought you were Jewish. I have been called every ethnicity under the sun. I think we should all be spies because we could probably just blend in. And I'm sure a lot of my Latino students, especially my Salvadorian students and my Honduran students, I'm sure there's all these assumptions that you must be Mexican and not of a culture that that they recognize. Unfortunately, we all get kind of lumped together. And I think the other group that can relate to that are Asians, right? Vietnamese look very different than Japanese people, and Chinese people have a different sound when they speak Chinese, and yeah. I've been told you don't look like a Honduran girl. That's just, I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know if anyone's ever been asked this, but it's what we call microaggressions. And if someone ever asks you, oh, are you from one of the islands? Or she has to be from one of the islands. Do you know that that's code for saying, oh, are you black? Okay, or are you biracial? It's kind of a subtle subtext of, well, you look so different, then you must be mixed with something else, and so you must be from like a Caribbean island or something. So, yeah, those are challenging things when people say it, and it's like, do I push back in that moment? Do I just kind of keep smiling? For example, if it's someone I work with and they're higher up from me and they say something like that, and it's like, do I let this go, or do I try and educate a little bit? And I say for them, well, for example, I went to a wedding a few weeks ago, and I sat next to a lovely couple, and they had just moved here from California, and they were Colombian, because the bride was Colombian. So I spoke a little bit of Spanish, and asked them how they're doing, and nice to meet you, and all that. And the woman's like, oh, you speak Spanish? I said, well, yeah, I'm a little bit. And she's like, well, what is your background? I said, well, I'm Mexican. I'm fourth generation, but first thing out of her mouth, oh, you don't look Mexican. And again, it's one of those situations like the wedding's about to start. I want to be respectful. But the reality is that we all come in different colors and shapes and forms. And the reason why my skin is so light is that a lot of my ancestors did marry Spanish families. And there are families in Mexico that try to keep the skin lighter by marrying more European type of individuals. Well, the other thing too is that if you think about Mexicans in California, and I've been to California and I've seen them, and they also looked at me too. A lot of them are much darker skin. The ones that are crossing the border are coming from a different background and environment. And anything could explain darker skin if they're working outside a lot. The fact that I'm a graduate student, I have spent most of my life in indoor lighting. So I wish I had darker skin. I used to be very, very dark as a child, and I would get more of these kind of comments of what are you, who are you, things like that. So, yeah. So, unfortunately for her, her perspective of Mexican is just this one thing from California. Whereas if you go to Mexico, and many of you have been, there's there's blonde, blue-eyed Mexicans, there's more German influence in some of these Latin American countries. So that question of, how do you identify and how do you handle that question? I try to do it with a little bit of humor and try and have fun with it. There's a book by, I believe his name is Robert Rodriguez, and I'll find it. I have it somewhere downstairs. And I say this in class as well. He has very dark skin, what my grandmother used to call cachas indio, or in Spanish, Indian features. Even she would make comments of, oh yeah, he has cachas indio. It's like he's too Indian, or he's got too much Indian blood, or there's always this need to kind of suppress the Indian within us, okay, and just kind of push that down. Octavio Paz, famous Mexican poet, used to say that the Mexican is forever trying to suppress the Indian within us. And so there is kind of this kind of self-hatred, if you will, about trying to lighten our skin, trying to move away from that ethnicity, from that identity. One of the reasons why I love Frida Kahlo is that she grew up pretty privileged, and her father was a German immigrant in Mexico, and yet she embraces her heritage, and she wears the traditional costumes and wears her hair in the braids and doesn't shave, her unibrow or her mustache. She embraces all aspects of being that kind of Indian within you. And that's what I admire about her. And believe me, I get that shit too. Because look, you see all this hair right here? I used to have white hairdressers that would tell me, oh, you have to shave all of that. Your Indian is showing. You've got too much of your Indian blood showing. And even back here when I shave, I have these little spots. And for years, it was just this shaming and this kind of sensitivity. And I remember a couple of boys in high school making fun of that I had sideburns and I had these things. But now, I say, pardon my French, fuck them, honestly. Because it's my face, it's my body, and this is part of my heritage. And if this is part of my Indian heritage, then I embrace it. And I was always told that if you have more hair, the more hair you have, the more passion you have. So I decided to anchor on to that notion and go from there. So I did shave it a couple of times, but I got tired of it. So, I don't need that maintenance. I'm too old, I'm too tired. I have a boyfriend, so I'm good. It's fine. I love it. I got hearts for saying that. Okay, so just always kind of keep thinking when people make comments to you or they ask you, what are you or what is your background? What are some of the kind of more polite ways that you can, one, stand up strong and not be belittled by their comment, and two, how can you also educate them a little bit about your culture or your background? So, Sonny, I love you. Yes. Yeah, you have to embrace who you are. We are, especially as Latina women, we are taught, to lighten the skin and dye our hair blonde. And if you watch telenovelas, you see there's this constant reminder in the media to lighten your skin and look more European. And even George Lopez makes fun of the one Mexican girl that has the dark hair with the really light blonde with the dark roots. And it's like, that's great if you're doing that for yourself, but if you're trying to be something and mirror something that's not of your culture, I see a lot of that kind of self-hatred and that perpetual kind of attitude. So, that's also why I stopped dyeing my hair and decided to just go gray. I went gray at 22. So, and for years, I was always painting as my brother calls it, paint your hair. You need to paint your hair, you're looking old. And honestly, when you get past 40, you give no fucks anymore. You kind of you don't care. So that's the nice thing. I think in my 20s, I used to worry so much about what people thought about me and so worried about belonging to something. And now I'm like, you know what? Take me as I am. If you don't like me, what can I do about it? And I think 15 years of teaching, I'm going to have many a person that does not like me or what I have to say or what I do. So as long as they're not ugly and don't show up at my house, we won't have. And if you do show up, be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. So, thank you. I've learned to embrace the gray, and I noticed younger kids are dyeing their hair gray. Of course, it's more of a platinum, fashionable. So I thought, well, why not? So I'm going with it. I'm thinking of growing it out really long because my hair does grow super, super fast. And I used to have it, but it was so heavy. But now that I've started shaving off, I don't know if you guys noticed, I have half my head shaved. Well, it's growing out right now. But by doing that, I've really lightened my hair. So I'm like, let me see what this looks like all grown long, and then the back shaved. So, yep. All right. Well, it's about almost 2:40. I think I've drawn on long enough. I'm thinking maybe for tomorrow's update, also start thinking of some ideas of kind of things you want us to talk about online, or if you want to host a session. But I brought it with me. This is the card game Latino Card Revoked. And let me tell you, these cards are hilarious. They're kind of multiple choice questions, and they do lend themselves to really good discussion. So I think what I'll do is I'll pick 3 or 4 of them, and I'll post the questions before we have our meeting so you can kind of think on them, and then we'll see what you think, and how you answer. So I'll give that a shot, and then, I'll think of some other things we can talk about, and whatever you want. If you're interested in seeing more of my art or seeing other things I do, I'm happy to do anything or whatever. So, all right. Good to see you. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're doing well. And just know that all of the faculty are thinking about you. They worry about you. And somebody check on Ruben for me to make sure he's doing okay. And tune in tomorrow. All right? Good to see you. Bye.